Yeah, hello there folks. Welcome back to my channel. Hope each and every one of you are still truly well and blessed by our Lord and Savior. Yeah, just look at it. We've got poles. Yeah, don't worry about the poles. We're busy installing some shade boards. What are we doing this week? You check, it's a nice sunny day. All the leaves are down, so starting to clear up. But yeah, full swing of winter. So yeah, we're still busy with the blue turbo bike. Need to get that done before we can finish up with the other two turbo builds, dyno videos and stuff like that. So yeah, today's video, we get busy with the fabrication stuff and we almost get it done. Almost. Alright, so stick around, watch till the end. Remember, there's live chat. Join us in the live chat if you'd like. There's even prizes, memberships up for grabs if you join us in the live chat. Alright, I said all I had to say. Let's get going. Okay folks, you know how it goes. Before we start the video, quick shout out to all the members of the channel, or as I say, sponsors of the channel. I'd like to thank each and every one of them a lot. And then we've got a new member down here, Kamikaze LRX. He's one of the guys who got a free membership for a month in last week's live chat. So yeah, if you're busy watching this now and it's premiering, join us in the live chat. There's goals. If we reach goals, certain goals, there's free memberships up for grabs. So yeah, I said all I had to say. Thanks to each and every one of you up here. We will be changing the board for the next video, so check out for that. It'll be a bit different. And yeah, let's get to the movie. So folks, the previous video on the Blue Busa, we started with a strip show where we stripped everything. So I don't want to continue this video with a strip show. We're going to remove everything on the inside of the tank, and then we're going to chop it, make it smaller, and put it all back together. So yeah, if you ever wondered what the inside of my tank looks like, well, there it is. I'm quickly going to strip it down, take everything apart so we can take it in to have it welded. Made it a bit smaller so it's more aerodynamic. So yeah, hold on, I'll show you once I'm done. Yeah, so this is a rough estimate of how much we're taking 100 mil out of the tank. So yeah, I'll show you when it's done. Alright folks, so while the tank is being welded, I made a couple of adjustments and changed a couple of things. We'll be running 2 fuel pumps now. So I did change the bracket, cut off the third pump's piece, change the wiring, and then if I turn this upside down, I'll show you just now, you see it's welded over there. This is that 100 mil I told you about, so this was in between there, and this was a fuel filter. If you check inside, it's not anymore, because we had issues where the ethanol dissolved the filter's glue on the ends and made a bugger up, so we removed that completely. So this is everything I cut out of it. Then also I changed, which one did I change? Oh yeah, I changed this one. This one was on there, and it went either to the bottom or the top, can't remember, but because this is not there anymore. Oh yeah, so I changed this one. The one that goes to the pumps, we use the fuel rail. Where's my one seal? Oh, it's on the pump. Okay, use the fuel rail, then it taps into this banjo. This banjo goes there, which in turn goes like that, and then the fuel pumps goes here on the inside this lovely bracket, but as I said, unfortunately we're waiting for the new fuel pumps. We won't be running the 320s anymore. We had 3 of them. We'll be going now for the 450s, 2 of them. So yeah, and as you can see, my fuel pressure regulator is inside the tank. They can work like that, so no worries on that. As soon as the new pumps come, I will install them. We'll have to weld on a little bracket for the top part where it connects to the pumps, because that's not there anymore. But yeah, essentially this is the inside of the tank's bracket. I'll also shorten this pipe, and even the return one, I can take 100 mils out of it also, because the tank is smaller now. But yeah, I'll just show you the tank right now, and I won't put this in now. I'll wait for the pumps and stuff, but I'll show you how the tank came out. Yeah, so while we wait for the tank, we've got a new radiator and the old radiator. Shame. So we're quickly putting the rubbers and the water temp fan switch, not water temp, fan switch, and yeah, all the groceries over. And then you will see I marked the front mudguard, so we're gonna have to cut that little piece off and fill it up again. So yeah, let me get those things switched around and those things switched around, and yeah, we still need to make brackets. Forget the light up here, because as I did say, we will be running a brand new steering damper. But yeah, I don't have brackets, so the scheme will be something here. This is a nice Antlion triple clamp, so it's got loads of spaces beneath where you can fit brackets and stuff like that. But we'll run something from here and maybe extend the bracket from here. I don't know, we'll just see. But yeah, let's first do the radiator and get that front mudguard off, so we can start cutting it and then start reassembling more stuff. Yeah, so folks, while I was busy here taking the mudguard off and getting ready to put the radiator back, where's the top fairing bracket gone? Well, I was checking and fiddling and nothing squirrely, but yeah, I saw that I was gonna have to cut and shape and weld and finagle that poor top fairing bracket so much that it would be easier to build a new one. So yeah, this is a broken one I have. It's also a Gen 1, but somehow it's a cast one. Doesn't matter. I will weld all of the aluminium stuff back on, or I say I will, but let's see. Once it's done, maybe I will let somebody do it for me. But yeah, we're gonna be building a new one, and the new one will not be having any of this. It'll be only the crossbar with the 2 little hangers and the brackets for the top fairing. All of that would be removed for ease of working on it with the new setup. So yeah, this is the first time this top fairing bracket has been off since Suzuki put it on this bike in, I think it was 2004. So yeah, it's a bit filthy over here. I'm gonna clean that up, and I'm probably still gonna maybe install the radiator. I'm not sure. We are gonna have these aluminum pieces, take them off, have them powder coated. But yeah, first maybe gonna build the top fairing bracket so we can see how everything works. Yeah, that was just a little heads up what's going on. We are still waiting on the tank. Once that's here, I will show you all that like a groceries. Okay, let me clean this area. Quick question, folks. I thought I should show it because someone's gonna notice it and gonna ask me. So this is a top end bike. It is still street legal, but I don't drive it on the street anymore. So the question is, why have an ignition? Well, you'd probably say so they don't steal your bike, and so you have a key and all that like groceries. Well, this key hasn't been out of this ignition for 6, 7, 8 years now. But this ignition has always been in my way with the cameras, and that's why I cut it and made that Fanta Doppy or cap onto it. So yeah, I think I'm giving into the dark side at the moment, because I'm starting to remove more and more things that I wasn't gonna remove. But yeah, if you don't see the ignition anymore in the videos or in the next video or whatever, yeah, I think I'm gonna move it or remove it, but maybe just move it. Okay, I just thought I'd let you know. But comment down below if you think I'm crazy for removing the ignition. Alright, let me continue. Yeah, okay folks, so the tank is fully welded. I don't know if I showed you how it looks on the bike. I'm pretty sure you would see in the video. So this is now version 2.0 of the tank. Just look at that. Took exactly 100 mils out of it. It is in position. It's not tight at the moment, but if I stand back and I lower myself, I think you can get the idea. And let's say you cannot get the idea. Let me show you like this. Just take these bolts out. But yeah, it's lowered, it's beautiful. And it's gonna make me lie down much flatter on my stomach, because remember that beautiful blue tank cover? It's just a cover. I don't have to drive with the cover, and I actually don't drive with the cover. So yeah, now look at it. Let me stand back a bit more, or let me zoom out. So the back end is pretty high at the moment. But yeah, so yeah, what's the problems we have with this tank, and what? Well, my fuel line is obviously a bit too long at the moment, and then my if I can get it over here, my air intake temperature is, yeah, that's kind of in the way at the moment. So what I was thinking is, I'm not gonna leave it like this because it's gonna hinder me a lot. I'll be moving it from here, because I'm also thinking it's giving me not false readings, but not 100% accurate. So I'll move it from here to not here where my finger is, but in the middle underneath. I'll put it in there for a more accurate reading of what the air or what the boost going into the motor, what the temperature on it is. So yeah, that's the new tank. You can check there, still at the same angle and stuff. There's no pumps or nothing on the inside at the moment. I have to change the hanger and yeah, pretty much. Okay, I'm not gonna get that loose at the moment. Everything, but you can see now I'll be lying much straighter once that intake air temp sensor is moved. So yeah, let's continue on assembling stuff. You see the radiators are here. I'm just a bit busy in the front. I'll show you when I'm done. Yeah, so folks, apparently it costs more to make a bracket that just holds up the fairing. You know, normal piece of round bar, bend it, weld it. It costs more to do that than a brand new top fairing bracket or stay bracket cost. So yeah, in that event, or in that case, we will be cutting the living crap out of that one and putting it on a weight loss regimen. So yeah, last look at how it looks before I cut it. I'll show you when I'm done. Yeah, if you check here, I cut that little winglets off that was on top here. See, they are no more there. So I'll probably fit it on the bike and just check the gap between the cover and the tire. And we'll just fill this up with fiberglass again and smooth it off and sand this whole thing and just fix it again and use it like it is. So yeah, that's the one thing. And yeah, I quickly gonna finagle that top stay bracket. So yeah, I just wanted to show you before I get working or before I get busy filling it all up. Okay folks, so I think I should have shown you a bit more about what I'm doing over here. So this is, I said I was going to cut the top fairing bracket. Well, I cut a nice big gaping hole into it, and this is where the water tank's going to live. I did weld a piece of aluminum to it. I'll make the holes and brace it and all that like a groceries. But I thought just before I finish the whole thing, let me at least just show you what I'm doing. Alright, so yeah, if you were wondering, that's where the water bottle or water can is going to be. And at this moment, maybe the steering damper will fit down there. We'll just see. We've got that nice new golden one, so I don't know, we'll see. So that everything is on. This is my idea with the ref counter, to mount it to the triple clamp. But I can make brackets and stuff, but I first want to check, because this Antlion one is special to me. And if some of the OG guys can remember, okay, it was black back then, but this is the one I specially made for this bike back then. So I'm first gonna bugger up this one, see if I can make it work. So here where the ignition goes, I will probably cut all that out and see if the ref counter can stay there or is happier over there. And yeah, then we can figure it out. Then we can remove that one and reinstall the OG one. Alright, so let me cut it, shape it and finagle it, and I'll show you if it works. Okay folks, I think I have it. There it is in all its splendor and glory. And I think it's going to work beautifully. You check down there. Still have to cut those corners a little bit. But I used the original bracket, flattened it, made the holes bigger. So it's now where the ignition used to tie into. And you see if I just finagle that corners a little bit, it'll sit even better. That little gap in the bottom won't be there. But yeah, I think I would be able to see that ref counter for sure. So yeah, let me just finish up with this and then we can give it a test fit and see if it's gonna clear at the back there. Yeah folks, so one of the fun little jobs I have is taking off the triple clamp, now fitting this one to check if everything clears. And if everything fits well and clears well and turns well, then I have to take it off again and have it powder coated. But yeah, so it's on, in place, and the wires aren't, they just tucked away, but that's the way they're gonna be. You see there is clearance, and if we have to add water meth, oh my soul, then we can add water meth. So obviously there's going to be a screen and all that like a stuff, but even if you go like this, you can still do it. So yeah, now I only have to see how far it's away from the screen, but it turns well, everything as well. So yeah, just a quick heads up, you have to fit things and then you have to take it apart again to have it made the way you want it. So yeah, that's probably where it's gonna live. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, sorry, nothing I can do about that. That is for me to see what the bike revs. So yeah, if there's space, we'll put the boost gauge and a vacuum gauge. If there's no space, they'll stay at home for the day. We've got all the data logging on that. We don't have to see if it boosts. If it overboosts, the computer will catch it 10 times quicker than you can see with your eyes. So there's no need for me to see that. If I only see this, it's fine by me. Okay, so let's get something else. Oh yeah, and you'll see I already fitted the radiator back again. Didn't even show you that. So yeah, I'll just quickly tell you I did it, and you can see it's in place. Everything is nice and tight. Yeah, okay, let's get this bike assembled a bit more. Okay folks, so it might seem like I'm jumping around like crazy, but well, I actually am, but I work shifts during the day and stuff, so I do what I can when I can. And this mudguard needs to be sanded so we can fill up these holes and yeah, get it painted and everything. So that's why I'm not busy with the bike at the moment. It's the next day and all that, like a groceries. So quickly gonna sand this. So yeah, wish me luck. It's gonna get itchy. If you check here, I did brace it with a threaded rod, so it is pretty nice and stable. I'll just quickly sand it down and I'll show you when I'm done. All right, hold on. Yeah folks, so last video on this mudguard, you can see I sanded it. I lost like 20 discs trying to get that black off. It clogs up the disc. And yeah, you don't want to see me sand a mudguard and do fiberglass. Fiberglass anyone can do, I think. So yeah, this will be the last time I show you this. After I buggered up all those sanding discs I found, you see there's lots of scribble on it. And if you take a bit of thinners, something with this black stuff, I don't know what went wrong with it, but only the black comes off. So yeah, I'll take the rest off and I'll do this mudguard, but this will be the last time you'll see it. I think the next time you'll see it will maybe be on the bike for me to check the clearance on top and stuff like that, but I won't show you the mudguard anymore. When it's done, it's done. I'll just install it on the bike and it'll be done. We've got loads of things on the bike left to do, so I rather we move back to the bike, and you know about the mudguard, so you'll see it when it's done. Okay, so I'll clean it up here and I'll move on to the bike, see what's next to do there. There's loads more to do, so yeah. Okay folks, so what's next? Because we installed the water can nice and level or low, it seems like we can use the, let me just show you, the old steering damper. We don't have to modify to do anything on the top to fit that other steering damper, but if you check the steering damper, it's been on the bike its whole life, and yeah, you see I can move it pretty quickly side to side. It even feels kind of like if there's sand in it or something. So yeah, we can still fit it back on the bottom, but I don't think this thing worked well anymore. I think it had its turn. So yeah, it's sad that we have to install this nice golden one at the bottom, but I just wanted to show you. You see it's nice and smooth and slow, but yeah, then once you adjust it, you don't have to fully adjust it, but let's say you go all the clicks, watch, that's how tight it is, and it really is. So yeah, let me just loosen it up a bit. You see that's not even loose all the way. You go loose all the way, that's all the way loose. Even then it's tighter than the stock one. So yeah, it's sad, but I think what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try and fit this one here at the bottom. Not sure, you see it can go there, probably turn it to the front, fit it there and there, and as you can see it clears everything. So yeah, one more thing to do and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay folks, Yeah, as you can see, it's in, it's nice and tight, and it was quick and easy. It's just a nice bolt-on kit. Well, it really isn't. It's most of the time a hassle. You have to make plans or know how to compromise, or not compromise, but you have to know how to fabricate something, make a plan. So the problem I have here, it is nice and fitted there and there. The original one, this piece is much thicker. It's like a 10 mil, and we're at the moment going with an 8 mil. So the problem is, we put the 8 mil bolt in, you see there's too much clearance. The hole is bigger than this bolt can take. So yeah, this is where you must start think, how will we make a plan, how will we sort it out? One way will be to put a dowel on the inside so it takes up that space. Yeah, that's one way of doing it, but you still just have an 8 mil bolt and not a 10 mil anymore. So the plan I make is this. This is the same studs that hold your brakes onto your bike. So it's a hardened 8 mil tempered whatever, stainless, not stainless but steel, and you see it's got a nice big step in it. So yeah, I take that out of the way and I put that in there. You see there's no play. So yeah, you put a little washer on top. There's no washer at the moment, but okay, I'll show you when I have it installed. Washer on top, that piece, washer on the end of that, and then a lock nut on top, and that should be golden. So yeah, a lot of fabricating work. I know I don't show it. It looks like everything is just quick and easy bolt on, but it really isn't. Most of the time you have to make a plan. So let me finish up and I'll show you how it works. Okay, so you can see nice and tight, everything in place. Made a nice little bracket to keep the braided fuel brake lines out of the way. You can see it's got full articulation. It's nice and beautiful. So steering damper done. We need to take these panels off to have them powder coated. Same with the top fairing bracket, but I still need to shave this little lip and do something here and here. So yeah, still got some work to do, and also the top triple clamp, we also need to get that powder coated. So yeah, this would normally be the part in the video where I tell you, yeah, like, comment, share, and see you in the next one. But unfortunately, we are getting closer to the top end, so we need to get done so we can start a bit of testing. So what's next? Quickly gonna take this boost box off. It's quick and easy. No, not quick and easy. I'll show you, and then I'll do it. They've got this little hangers. There's a cable tie over there that connects it, stops it from turning. So I cut the cable tie, loosen it. It can come off. All I need to do now is unplug that line over there. This line goes to the bottom, okay, and this line over here, but it's just quick release. Loosen that bolt over there, and then just the boost pipe. Where's the boost pipe? Oh my soul. Okay, so it's down there. Okay, maybe I was an idiot to install the radiator already, nah? Okay, so maybe I'm gonna have to take the radiator off. Oh no, I can loosen it there and just pull it off. Okay, so I'll quickly do that. Then we'll get to the injectors and the spark plugs. Two things on that I need to tell you. So let me get this out of the way and we can continue. Okay folks, so everything is disconnected. The only thing still stuck on the bike is the silicone boost pipe. It's loosened, but it's still not connected, but it's still there. So the only resistance I have is that boost pipe at the moment. And yeah, okay, I thought it was going to be a bit more difficult. Yeah, just like that, the boost box is off. Okay, so that air temperature sensor, we're going to mount it somewhere in this area, either here or probably here in the front side, just to show you. But I'll show you when it's mounted. Okay, hold on. Okay, blocks are out. You see I put them here exactly the way they were in, and no surprise, focus, focus, they are all black. This one is actually wet black, black. So yeah, because of the fuel, that one isn't too bad, but they're all flooded essentially. If you remember a couple of years ago when we struggled with the blocks, we used to run CR10s because the normal Busa coil packs didn't spark enough. So yeah, if you can check there, we're back to CR9s because those coils spark the living crap out of these things. So yeah, we could go a bit colder on the blocks. So yeah, if you check there, that's my fuel filter. That's why the one that's in the tank isn't there anymore. We've got the external one inline, very nice Turbo Smart one with I think 100 micron stainless steel fuel filtering. So yeah, folks, that's pretty much the long and the short of it. I won't clean these blocks. I'll install a new set of blocks. You see I put the fuel rail back in without the injectors just to keep everything in place. So once we get those injectors checked and cleaned and everything, we can just put it back in. But yeah, if you've watched till now, I'm not going to tell you to comment something, but please comment something. Apparently with the new algorithm, what, it helps a lot if you comment and if you like. And yeah, and subscribe and share and all that stuff, but the comments and the likes are apparently the most important at the moment. So yeah, if you like what you saw and you want to see some more, next week Tuesday we will be doing the same old, but we'll get closer to being able to be done and doing a run or a heat or something. And yeah, well, let me know if you like my speedo setup or you think I'm crazy for doing that. If it doesn't work, yeah, we'll try something else. But yeah, hope the Lord blesses each and every one of you, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I hope you comment and like and all that stuff, and yeah, may the Lord bless you all. See you next Tuesday. All right, goodbye.